Good day to you, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I had a soul portrait done of me not too long ago.
A soul portrait.
Yes. And while the artist was working on the portrait, she said she saw a diadem on my 5th and my 6th chakras and a receiving pod on my 7th.
All right.
Can you explain those to me and
Yes,
what that
easily.
means?
That's the way she interprets that kind of energy in her permission slip reality.
Well, she didn't see them on any other chakras.
So what?
Okay, so it's just the chakras that she was seeing? It's not like it was anything different? Because I'd never heard those words used in regard to placement on a chakra.
Every energy vortex has also associated with it a geometric crystalline pattern.
Okay.
She was simply sensitive to the idea of the geometric crystalline pattern versions of those energy centers.
Okay.
And therefore, that's the way they were perceived.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Another question. I was told by the same woman that I am very connected to the Hathors, which I had never heard of before that moment. And then someone mentioned them earlier.
Yes.
And then I was...
Maybe you two can commiserate.
And also that I am an incarnated fairy. Do you, like,
Well,
what
in a
does that...
sense, not exactly.
Okay, can you explain
There are
what
many
they mean?
beings that do have cross connections to the idea of nature spirits, the nature spirit dimension and realm, which does contain an expression of consciousness that you would recognize as the kind of ideas you're calling fairies and such.
Okay.
So you have cross connections to it, but again, please remember, the idea is that all incarnations exist simultaneously.
Right.
So reincarnation can be had as an experience, but it doesn't mean that you actually become one thing and then another. The idea is that you're cross-connecting to another simultaneous coexistence in the idea of the nature-spirit level of consciousness, and you're forming associations to that because it has relevance in this life for you in terms of expressing that kind of energy on your journey, on your path.
Okay.
That's some of the colors on your palette, in other words.
Okay. And one last question. I was talking with my friend Concha earlier, and we were talking about waking up in the morning and feeling restless, like my heart is fluttering, and like there's something I'm supposed to be doing, something that I'm missing, something that I'm forgetting. What does that come from?
That could come from any number of things. Are you forgetting something?
Oh, you were actually asking me.
Yes, I was actually asking a question.
I don't know. I've kind of always had this feeling of like there's something missing.
Something missing.
But I don't know what it is, and I don't... Does that make any
right.
sense?
You may be feeling the idea simply of the urge, the magnetic urge, the gravitational urge toward more of yourself. But if you relax into the trust that your life unfolds in perfect timing, that anxiety or antsiness may subside. You're not missing anything. Remember, all appointments, in a sense, have been made. The only way to miss an appointment is to spend time worrying that you're going to miss the appointment. Otherwise, the appointment can't be missed.
Okay.
So, if you feel like you're missing something, forgetting something, trust the way your life unfolds. Trust the synchronicity in your life as to how it's going to appear. It will always remind you of something you truly need to know. Always. And if you relax into that certainty, you will always get the reminder. But if you are concerned about it, if you focus on the concern, then you're going to block its ability to give you that information when you need it.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. And I just remembered one other thing I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah.
And I don't know if... This is my first time seeing you, so I don't know if this is like your thing or not, but...
Thing.
I have been having a lot of problems with my shoulder, and someone did a healing thing on me, and she was saying that there is an energetic reason for the problem that I'm having.
Is. And
But
there's also sometimes physiological ones, but that
Yeah.
doesn't negate the idea that it usually starts in some way, shape, or form energetically.
Okay. Do you have
Are
any...
you carrying too much on your shoulders? Are you shouldering too much in life?
It's very possible. I've been one of those people that is always doing too many different things at one time.
Well, there you go, and there comes your anxiety as well.
Okay.
Your antsiness.
Okay.
You think you don't have enough time,
Yeah, exactly.
but you do. You have the perfect amount of time.
Okay.
Anything that you don't get done. When you are acting on your highest excitement, it is also the organizing principle of your life. And if you keep acting on the thing that excites you the most to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further, and then act on the next most exciting thing, and the next, and the next, and the next, in whatever order they present themselves to you synchronistically, whatever doesn't get done at the end of the day didn't need to be done.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
You really need to have more trust in the way your life unfolds. You cannot go through life feeling like you're missing something, like you're not doing enough. Otherwise, anxiety and antsiness will be what you experience your life to be. Stop trying to shoulder so much. Stop putting so much weight on it, and you'll relax. Now, you can certainly take advantage of body workers to help you with this, but the energy must also change. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
So you don't need to shoulder so much. Whatever it is you truly get done will be sufficient unto the day. Yes?
Yes. Okay.
Remember, 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 you are an infinite, eternal being. What's your rush? You exist forever. If it's not done now, it will be done later.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yes.
You can't really miss out, except by worrying that you'll miss out.
Okay.
That's the paradox, that's the irony. You follow?
I do. That makes me feel a lot better.
Why, thank you for choosing that path.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
You're welcome.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
And good day to everyone here. Thank you all for co-creating with us. Are we still pitching? Is that process still happening where people tell the story that began last year? Is that completed? Do you remember that?
Yes, nothing is ever necessarily completed. If you feel that there is a necessity in pitching, you may if you wish.
I don't feel that it's necessary.
Why did you bring it up?
Because you mentioned how statements open doorways, and that reminded me of the pitching because it's a series of statements.
Yes.
So
it was for the purpose of opening those doorways.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll open some doorways.
Oh, all right.
Does that sound fun? Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
So I have had the opportunity of several of my dreams coming true at the same time synchronistically, of working with a teacher, working in my community, and working with my friends to help generate actions of kindness.
All right.
And I kind of would like to hear your thoughts on the spiritual energy of actions of kindness.
Well, again, the idea is compassion. The idea is knowing that you are perfectly fine, that you are self-empowered, and that the greatest act of kindness is the reflection to others that they also can choose to be self-empowered, that they are aspects of the infinite, that they are unconditional love, that they are worthy and deserving of anything that they can imagine. This is the ultimate act of kindness, is to help reveal to them the potentiality and the possibility and the probability of who they truly are as a reflection of all that is. Because you are self-empowered enough to know that you will never be threatened by someone being their true self. Thus then, in that sense, you are free to help others by example also choose to be their true selves and know that all fits and all works together and all is harmonious when each and every individual is utterly and totally validated as that individual. Then there is true harmony.
Thank you. These actions have seemed to give a lubricating thank you, quality to group dynamics.
Yes, of course they will.
And so we've been experiencing how these actions of kindness in a growing group can create this dynamic of harmony.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that. I was curious also about the spiritual energy of laughter.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. Your so-called Big Bang was actually a big joke. It was a big laugh. It was a big aha! It was a big realization, and the cosmic joke is that it was there all along, and yet until realized, it was inert.
So knock-knock jokes open doorways too?
Absolutely. Because when you're willing to ask who's there, you're open to receiving more information about yourself in the unknown.
Thank you.
So by all means, knock, knock.
Who's there?
You.
You like the rainbow, all the colors, H-U-E? It's a synchronistic word with many meanings, I've noticed. You.
Yes.
I was also interested in the human experience of beauty. I've heard that it being very unique because we can have these other experiences of not beauty, that beauty stands out on this planet, and I was wondering if you could talk about that.
Well, it's really the idea of resonance in relationship. What you would call certain kinds of golden proportions that are representative of the overall resonant relationship of all that is to all its components. Does that make sense?
Yes. Is it unique, or do you experience...
I said all that is. In relationship, resonantly, proportionately to all its components. Thus, we are certainly one of the components of all that is. And thus, that relationship, in its very nature, is beauty.
Okay, that might take a while to sink in.
Oh, all right. Whatever amount of time it takes, I'm sure will be beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bashar, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Nania, we are closely approaching the time for your holotope experience. What remains for this in terms of questioners? All right. All right. You know how much we love threes. Number one.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I'm so excited to see you.
So
or to
are
meet
we
you.
to interact with all of you.
Yay. So I just want to say thank you so much for giving me all the permission slips that have brought me to this.
I made all sorts of suggestions. You were the one that gave yourself the permission slip, so we thank you.
Oh. Well, I don't really have too many specific questions, I guess, but I just maybe wanted to ask you your interpretation of an experience I had.
Such as?
Well, it was during a very deep meditation,
Yes.
and I was basically dissolving what I saw in front of me into like particles
Yes.
and basically taking away any color or shape or form and just seeing it as particles. And then I felt like if I could remove things that no longer needed to be there, things that were like maybe too dense, and I just like took an eraser and then I opened my eyes and everything was like way bigger.
Yes.
And so it was more kind of spread apart, and it was as if there was like no shadows
Yes, we
in
understand.
the room.
You
So I
took
think it was
yourself-
like a
yes.
higher or a lesser density.
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
So if you're really super dense, is that like, that's kind of why you would want to live in a life that's not free-flowing just because it suits you better?
The idea of density is so that you can experience change. Remember, in timelessness, you don't experience change. The only way to experience discovery, newness, change is to have the experience of density that includes space and time.
Okay.
So that's how all that is experiences the process of becoming all that is instead of just being all that is.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to maybe ask is, so is the next kind of aspect of understanding time and space would be to kind of take away time so that you would understand all things happening at the exact same moment,
Well,
right?
in your physical reality, you will not necessarily continue to have an experience of all things happening at once.
Right.
But you can certainly stretch that a bit and experience more things happening at once, yes.
Okay.
In a synchronistic way.
So the next level kind of up from that, is that it, like I kind of see it as maybe like stories that we would all be little aspects.
You are already
Of the
stories.
gods,
You are
or,
telling
yeah.
yourself stories. You are living stories. The idea now on your planet is to change the story you're telling yourself.
Okay,
Self-empowering stories are now the vogue.
yeah, that sounds perfect.
Yes.
Um,
Instead of stories of tragedy and lament.
yes, totally.
Oh, woe is me.
Oh gosh.
Now it's, oh, wow, it's me.
So I watched lots of your just transmissions, and I hadn't ever come across anything on the counterparts or the hybrid children. So
Well,
I'm
then
wondering.
you haven't come across
I
those
just-
transmissions yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But they exist, and you can find them if you will ask the people that know where they are.
Well, I will. But I
Alright.
wanted to ask you
Yes.
what you think about if I have any of those things. Or where, or how many, or whatever, because that sounds interesting. I just wanted to, yeah.
It may sound interesting, but at the moment, it's not relevant for us to give you that information.
Okay. Fair enough. Also, I just want to ask you one personal kind of question. If I'm actually creating a documentary right now on the evolution of consciousness with my
Alright.
boyfriend, and we were really hoping that maybe we could talk to you at some point and maybe interview you for it. So
We will see.
we'll see.
We will see.
Okay.
Synchronicity
Yes.
will make itself known.
Well, it's brought us to this point here.
Yes, it has.
So
And
we're
it
glad.
will take you further. But we will see.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Number 2.
Hello, Bashar.
And a good day to you.
I think I'll start with the question about, I guess my questions will be around how to get into a better contact with my true self and trusting it.
I already gave you the entire formula.
I'm sure you did.
Act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can so
Right.
you can take it no further, with absolutely no assumption, insistence, or expectation as to what the outcome ought to be. And if you understand that if you have the expectation as to what the outcome ought to be, you're actually limiting the chances of experiencing something even greater than you could imagine, one would think that would be reason enough not to do that.
Thank you.
Is that not reason enough?
Can you say that last part again about reason?
If you understand that putting conditions on the outcome is actually limiting what outcome could happen, one would think that you would stop putting conditions on that outcome, knowing that it actually limits you
Right.
from what you could be experiencing. If you know that, wouldn't you stop doing that? Isn't that logical?
Yes.
Well, if you're not doing that, then you have to ask yourself, what is my motivational mechanism for doing things I say are not what I prefer to do? What belief system do I have attached that's making the thing I say I would prefer seem to be the thing I don't, and the thing I don't seem to be the thing I do? Because it's all about what you believe to be true that you go to and go away from. When you believe something's to your benefit, you always act in that direction. When you believe something is not to your benefit, you always move away from that. Always. Without fail. Without fail. So if you're not moving in the direction of what you know would be to your best benefit, that can only mean you have a belief system that is somehow making it appear to not be to your benefit. So find out what that belief is, let it go, and then it will appear to be to your benefit, the thing you prefer, and you'll move toward it. You'll act on it. You'll understand why you're doing that. Does that
Correct.
make sense?
Yes.
Is this
does.
helping?
I think so.
Anything else?
I guess what's coming up is what purpose is it serving me to continually insert doubt into my decision points or choice points?
Well, what are you getting out of it? Again, it's the same question.
Right.
You don't do things you don't believe you're getting some benefit from. And watch your definition. You know what the definition of doubt is from our point of view, yes?
I don't know if I do yet.
Doubt is not a lack of trust. Doubt is a 100% trust in a definition you don't prefer. So why would you trust in something you don't prefer? That's what doubt is. I trust this more than that. There is no such thing as a lack of trust. You're always trusting something to be true. If that were not so, you wouldn't have an experiential reality. So the question is not, how can I learn to trust? The question is, what am I putting my trust in? Something I don't prefer or something I do? Both will work. Both will be reinforced by creation. Both will be supported. It's up to you to decide what you prefer and find out why you would be putting your trust in something that you don't prefer. The only reason you would be doing that is because you're defining that thing as something that serves you better than the alternative.
Right.
Find out how you're defining it that way. You'll see that it's nonsensical and illogical when you finally bring that definition to light. And when you see that it's nonsensical, you'll let it go. You'll say, this makes no sense. And once it makes no sense, you'll stop doing it. Yes?
Yes. Thank you.
Does that sound reasonable?
Yes.
Does it sound sensible?
Yes.
All right. Does that make it seem doable?
Yes.
Are you sureable?
Almost.
Not so sureable?
It's a lot easier to hear it sitting down in the chair than standing at the mic for some
Why
reason.
do you define that as true?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You don't have to answer me. You can go sit down again if you want.
I have one more question.
Yes. So you prefer to remain on the hook?
Yeah, I'll
All
change
right.
the topic, though.
Oh, all right. She thinks she's changing the topic.
So I had an experience once where
Yes?
I had it, the question was posed, ask yourself about the mystery that you are.
Yes.
And I looked internally and to my left, and it seemed that there was this aperture that opened.
All right.
And all I
And?
could sense in this brief kind of moment was this very energized kind of kaleidoscope of colors
Yes.
that was spinning, and it was almost like it wanted to press out of this
Yes.
opening.
Yes. But it wasn't an opening.
I don't know what it was.
It was a mirror.
Okay.
You were looking at your true self. That's what you really are, all of you. Kaleidoscopic color, energy, consciousness, beautiful brilliance. That's what you are. Give in to it. It's what you really are. You were looking into a mirror. A similar thing will happen in the holotope meditation because the holotope in some senses is like that kaleidoscopic image. You're looking at a mirror of your true self, your energy self, your consciousness self, your symbolic, reflective, true, vibrational, unconditionally beautiful, loving self. That's what that is. It's like, here, take a peek. This is really you. You looked into the truth of yourself. Yes.
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 3.
Good day to all of you, Bashar.
And good day to all of you.
Are we of the same oversoul?
No.
Is there anyone in this room of the same oversoul?
As you?
Yes.
Yes.
Is my wife that person, Gautami?
One of them.
Can you explain that?
There are more than one expression of the same oversoul that you are connected to in the room with him.
Is one of them my wife, Gautami?
I already said yes.
Okay. And there's someone else.
There are others. I have now given you an Easter egg hunt.
On September 27th in 2007, in Abidjan, Brazil
Yes.
in front of John of God.
Yes.
I received a work that I call the Divine Diamond.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
You were just talking about it.
Yes.
And our work is about connection in the Trinity. We work with the Trinity.
That's actually what creation expresses itself as. You say polarity, you say duality, but it's actually a trinity.
Exactly, exactly.
Because the idea is that there's always a balance point between the two poles.
Yes. In my work with my wife,
Yes.
being of the same oversoul,
Yes.
it gives us a wonderful and amazing ability to create an energy field.
Yes.
And
You have resonant reinforcement.
yes.
Yes.
I work also with tachyon energy, which I have found extremely supportive in making connections, opening communication. Do you have anything you could say about tachyon energy, the way it's held in glass, the way we can use it as a focal or communication?
It can be focused in glass. It's a little bit more stable in crystal.
Yes, silica.
And it's exceedingly stable in diamonds.
Okay. And do you find that it is supportive to our ability to access our multidimensionality in working sort of in that way?
Of course, it can function as a permission slip for that, since that is how your mind and frequencies are oriented.
Yes, and it is like communicational as far as programmable. You can communicate with it. It's intelligent.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Everything is intelligence. Everything is consciousness.
Yeah.
You're using the idea of the matrix in that sense to structure information in a way that is both implantable and retrievable by the particular resonance that you yourself express. So it is in that sense simply a permission slip that is designed to resonate in harmony with the way you choose to express yourself, the way you do things energetically.
Yes. In the work that we do, the focus is on the oversoul connection.
Yes.
What I see the higher self as is sort of the communicational portal or
Yes.
way the oversoul would communicate.
Well, yes, it
And-
has to come down through the individual soul to the higher mind, which
the
then
higher
goes
mind.
through the template level reality to the physical mind. But yes,
The higher mind and the higher self are one and the same in most cases.
Generally speaking, yes.
Yes, okay. And I have been moved deeply by your latest commentaries
all right.
of sending, if we send energy out through our oversoul expressions, like through a tree, through the branches of our tree.
yes,
It seems if we light up our tree, it gives us much greater ability, therefore, to focus our energy possibly on another oversoul expression or to
Yes.
do, yes.
because you have illuminated the branches, and thus it
Yes.
makes it easier to see how it's connected to other things.
Yes, okay. I would like to ask, I had a dream once that there were three beings that said, "See his light, he's Arturian." My only memory of that is that's the first planet that I actually ascended on.
It's not a planet.
What was the
It's an
Arturian?
interdimensional energy gate, an interdimensional energy state that is representative of a particular vibration that many souls are taking on or connecting to on Earth at this time, because the vibration is conducive to not forgetting as much of who you are in physical reality.
So there's a connection, obviously, with Arturia
Yes.
and myself. Okay. My wife seems to think she's connected with Venusia.
Again, this is not in your physical reality. This is something that exists in a different dimension.
Yes. And
But
this
it is kind of a similar idea, but it's connected to the vibration of compassion, the vibration of understanding, and the vibration of love.
Yes. I would also just like to know, I hear a lot about the Pleiades, and I'm always curious about the connection between the Pleiades
Distant
and Syrian
Cousins, distant
system.
cousins,
And what are the Syrian...
offshoot of the ancient Anunnaki.
Yes, and the Syrians, how are they related to the Pleiadians?
There has been some mixture, but initially speaking, it was not a direct lineage. But on higher dimensional levels, there is a great connection. And non-physical levels, there is a great connection.
So they're completely, in some ways, independently evolved
Yes,
Yes, okay.
but there is a connection
There is
on the non-physical level.
Was Christ from Sirius?
Christ was from Earth.
Was his oversoul connection, or was Sirius involved in some way?
Yes, there were serious vibrations and many other vibrations in what you call the Christ consciousness, which now is represented by the collective vibration of your entire planet, as well as the Krishna spirit, the Buddha nature, any such idea.
Yes. I'm very lucky to be actually right now at a retreat with Amrita Nandamayi.
All right, well, luck had nothing to do with it.
Yes, well, she is the embodiment of compassion and love. What would you say about her as a human, obviously, incarnation? Amma.
We would say she is beautiful in many different ways. The essence of beauty, of what we were talking about before. The proportional relationship to all that is. The resonant relationship to all that is.
Yes.
Of all of its parts.
Yes.
In that sense.
There
will now need to be a shift in transmission.
Yes, thank you very much, Bashar.
We thank you.
Thank you.
And lastly, along this topic, is electricity conscious?
Everything is made of consciousness. To ask if electricity is conscious in the way that you experience consciousness, well, no, of course not. But it is made of consciousness and expresses and experiences consciousness in a completely different way than you do.
Because I know electricity would be connected with the idea of light, correct?
Electromagnetic energy, yes.
Okay, so I think that's where the question was coming from, the idea of, since the light is so written in so many of the text as far as the importance of the light, is it actually consciousness?
Yes, everything is consciousness, because consciousness is simply the expression of existence being aware of itself. It's just a reflection. So the idea is that everything is made out of that same, well, energy, if you want to say the word energy, or consciousness, but everything experiences itself as consciousness in very different ways. I'll use the word in very alien ways, very foreign ways, ways that you don't experience it as a personality in physical reality. For example, a rock even experiences consciousness, but the way a rock is designed to be a rock, and the way you're designed by yourself to be a physical human, the rock experiences its consciousness by you being conscious of the rock. So it's using you as a reflection to be aware of itself, even though it's not aware of itself directly in the way that you are. It's using you and other aspects of nature to allow itself to be aware of itself, but only by using those other aspects can it be aware of itself in a similar way to the way you consider yourself to be self-aware. So it's a very different form of self-awareness. It's a very different expression of consciousness. So yes, it's conscious, but not in the way that you are.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So we have lots of questions about spaceships and aliens and things you might be familiar with.
Maybe just a little bit, yes.
So this viewer is saying that, they've done certain protocols to be able to make ET contact, and that in doing that, they've been able to, experience a spaceship in the sky and become aware of it. And so once contact is made and there's that craft there, then what?
Well, what do you mean, then what? Keep going. Keep using your imagination. Keep coming up with other ways to let extraterrestrial beings know that you are peaceful, that you are centered, that you are balanced, that your intentions are positive. Keep going. Use your imagination. Expand the protocols. Be more imaginative. Be more creative. Be more active with them. Come up with different ways of showing those things. Artistic ways, creative ways, whatever you wish to do. But keep going. It will expand, and over time, the extraterrestrials will understand all the different ways you are attempting to communicate this idea of peaceful interaction, loving interaction, creative interaction with them, with us, and eventually it will blend into more and more face-to-face, open kinds of contact.
And that sounds fun.
Yes, of course. Why wouldn't it be?
Another question is, can you tell us about Phobos monolith on the Mars moon? Was it put there? Who did it? What's its purpose? And does it have any relationship to any of the monoliths on our planet?
The idea of monolith on Phobos, one of Mars's moons, comes from the ancient civilization that used to abide there millions of your years ago, as a sentinel, as a beacon for a variety of energetic and scientific purposes. It is to some degree energetically connected to certain things on Earth, such as certain kinds of ancient obelisks and pyramids and so on and so forth. There is an energetic connection. But the idea is that it is something from a long ago civilization. It still has to some degree some activity within it energetically, but not really according to its original uses, since that civilization is no longer upon Mars in the same way that it used to be.
Was there anything significant about the one that showed up? Was it in Arizona or Utah?
Well, the significance is mystery. The significance is a manifestation of the collective consciousness that now is becoming more open to the idea of exploring mystery, exploring portals, exploring places that might be connected to other dimensions and other realities, so that you become more aware that there is more mystery on your planet than you may think. Because many people on your planet think, oh, we've solved it all, we've seen it all, been there, done that. Well, no, you've barely scratched the surface. So the idea is that your collective consciousness will allow individuals to create certain things and manifestations that will be more mysterious, to start pulling you in the direction of the great mysteries, so that you can really explore both the inner realities as you explore the outer realities, and ask yourself questions that you have to go to a different level to answer.
And could you share with us how the stones used to build the ancient megaliths, some weighing hundreds of tons, were cut and lifted into place?
Well, a lot of vibrational resonance, sonic vibrations were used to cancel the idea that you call gravity, to relocate the locational variable in those objects. But even though they also had certain kinds of technologies long ago that could do some of these things, a lot of the stones weren't cut. They were simply formed in the sense of dissolving them or softening them and sort of treating them more like the idea of cement or clay. So they could be put into place, formed in place, and not necessarily always carried. Sometimes they were held aloft by vibrational resonance, and sometimes they were simply formed in place. Depends on how far back you go with the technology before it was lost, before it was forgotten.
So interesting. So can you tell us a little bit about the different types of grays that we're interacting with?
Well, as we have said, there is what we call the Maz-A, which you call the typical short gray. There are the taller grays, which we call Mazani, which is another hybridization level, another phase of hybridization. Now, remember that sometimes you're also dealing with gray beings and, of course, other beings that come from other parallel realities as well. So we understand that there can be a little bit of a confusing mix of things going on. They don't all blame, in a sense. They don't all come from the same reality necessarily. So you have to be a little bit discerning about what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the beings that you're referring to as the grays, because they're not necessarily all of a type from your reality, or their reality, or other realities. may be involved.
One question that came up is whether or not there are factions of the Greys that were actually experimented on and abducted, just like they're doing to us.
Yes, but that's another reality altogether.
So the Greys that we're interacting with were not subjected. Okay.
Though they did have the same Anunnaki beginnings in their own reality, in terms of being human originally.
Right. So different individuals have experienced abductions, and this individual is saying that they have trouble reconciling their feelings of being violated. And can you talk about that conundrum? Because the hybrid program is such a wonderful idea, and yet the experience of contributing to it was emotionally difficult.
Yes. The reasons that it is challenging for many people is because your society wasn't allowed to know what was actually going on so that it could participate more consciously. So the idea is that since this information was suppressed, since you were not given the ability to prepare yourselves to understand what you had chosen to participate in as a species in your own evolution, as well as the evolution of the Greys in creating hybrids such as ourselves, then many of those experiences were traumatic. So the idea now is to understand you can ask to continue to experience these things on your own terms by understanding that you did agree to participate in this, even though you may not remember it, and that it doesn't have to continue to be traumatic for you in any way, shape, or form, as long as you are asking for the ability to enter these things on your own terms, experience them on your own terms. By not being afraid of what's going on, you will not experience them traumatically. And it can also bring about some of the healing of what you did experience traumatically by understanding that they simply didn't necessarily have the wherewithal, the Greys, being that they created themselves to be an emotionless hive mentality in order to succeed in the hybridization agenda. You can understand to some degree that they simply couldn't relate to what you were experiencing for quite a long time until there were enough hybrids to know what you were going through, and thus starting to temper those experiences in a much more conscious way, allowing people to be more conscious and participate on their own terms. But the idea of the trauma really comes from the fact that your own society never really allowed you to understand what was going on.
And for this other person that's to this day unable to sleep alone and still has the need to feel like there's somebody in the room when they sleep because they feel so uncomfortable when they sense the presence.
Well, again, this is simply, what we have just said. It's the residual of having gone through the experience without knowledge, without understanding, without conscious participation. So yes, it's a form of what you might call post-traumatic stress syndrome, because you were not allowed to know what was really going on by your own people. So the idea now is that you can alleviate a lot of that in the way that we have just suggested. By knowing that there isn't really anything negative going on per se, by understanding that you did make a choice to participate in this as part of the evolution of your own people into the sixth hybrid race, part of Earth's natural evolutionary stepping stones, and by asking for more awareness on a conscious level, on your own terms, so that you know you can and always have had the ability to participate more consciously. And let go and forgive the idea of your own people preventing you from knowing this as you grew up in your reality.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
This is a little bit of historical ET information.
Yes.
A question on the topic of anti-Semitism.
Yes.
The idea that the Jewish people are perceived as a special people by others, expressed in a negative way in anti-Semitism. Does it come from the fact that they were in ancient times guided and protected by the Anunnaki, and that their religious ideas were, as a consequence, so different from the existing religions back there that they were perceived to be a small group of elitists trying to influence society?
All right, well, first and foremost, there is actually something in error about that historical recollection with regard to being so different from other people in the beginning in terms of their culture. They were perceived as different because of a more direct genetic connection to the ancient Anunnaki, which was important to preserve for the future of the hybridization agenda to allow Earth to experience its evolution in the way that would best serve it. So the idea is that there was a sensing of that genetic difference that was called out, and because of the negativity that existed on the planet at the time in seeing them as different in that way, a lot of times, again, because of the same reasons people persecute others today, because they're afraid to look within themselves and project that fear on other people when they see something different that reminds them of what it is they contain as well, but they're afraid to look at, then there is persecution. But the idea that their culture in the beginning was so different isn't actually true. The idea of monotheism is actually a very late arrival in the culture of the ancient Hebrew people. The original idea that was really quite prominent in the beginning was similar throughout many different cultures, and that is the recognition, and of course at the time, because of the way they express things, the worship of not only the male principle of the so-called monotheistic God, but also the female principle of the idea of feminine energy, the goddess energy. This was actually quite prevalent throughout the ancient cultures of the Hebrew people, as well as many others. The idea of the suppression of the feminine came along much later, when those who were fear-based wanted to exercise the idea of more control over the populace for their own purposes of maintaining their power. But in the beginning, the idea of the Hebrew people was very pantheistic. They actually worshipped many different gods, and especially the idea of the god-goddess energy of Yahweh and Asherah. These things existed for a long, long time before somewhere in and about your 530s BC, as you say, was a particular push to eliminate the feminine principle to whatever degree they could and focus everything down to a monotheistic patriarchal God to maintain the church's control as it was growing in power. So first and foremost, please understand that the idea is that the so-called beginnings of the Hebrew people were not monotheistic. They recognized the male and female principle within creation. It only became monotheistic in the way that it is now because of a power struggle that formed much later on. Does that help?
Yes. These questions are specific to Essassani and the Essassani people. Yes. The idea that there is a prime facilitator, is this something you've mentioned?
Yes. Again, it's part of the idea of an organizing body that allows for the amplification and magnification of the idea of synchronicity within a society, stabilization of a certain state of being within a society, to allow people a little bit more efficacy in having the discernment between the idea of what they do and don't prefer. So in that organizational body of service, which isn't exactly a government per se, there is what we would recognize as a prime facilitator that is the core of that particular focus of energy to allow for more ability to have that discernment and balance within the society.
And is that active as part of these channelings?
It's always involved to some degree, although the difference in degree depends on what is being done at any given moment. But of course, since it's a part of our society's collective equation of energy, then yes, the prime facilitator is always present to some degree.
So what kind of challenges do you as a people and your planet have?
Well, as a first contact specialist, obviously we have the challenge of our communications with different societies, as we are doing with your world right now. The challenge of presenting information in a way that is capable of being absorbed by those that choose to absorb it is an ongoing and very exciting process for us because things are changing in a variety of ways all the time, and you are very different from our society, so we are always challenged to come up with more and more creative ways to express these concepts in a way that can potentially serve your society.
And for you personally, how do you allow your sculpting work to leak into your first contact work?
Well, one good example would be the idea of the creation of something we have mentioned before, which is the kind of conical tower that is very tall, made out of 3 strands of our crystalline nanotechnological material that is actually vibrationally representative of your ability to tap into the 3rd strand of DNA, which gives you more ability and more discernment to raise your vibration. So our sculpture, in that sense, in that context, is a very prime example of the vibrational energy we are delivering to you to allow you to tap into more of yourself.
And so will you eventually actually come to the planet?
I am in orbit around your planet, as I said, stationary above Sedona at this moment, but if you mean literally physically standing on the ground, yes.
And what will you do once you're here?
Well, we'll find out together, won't we? Obviously, I will be, in some sense, a representative of my society. And what that entails, we will see when it happens.
Do you have any idea when that would be?
As I said, the idea in general is that there will be others before us. We will be more toward the middle or the end of the window of open contact. So, somewhere more after the 2033s or 2040s would be more likely, as the energy exists right now, for us, in our society specifically, to start making more physical appearances upon your planet. Though others will be first.
Well, since you're quasi-physical,
Yes.
how does that interact with our physical reality here?
Well, again, we have the ability to adjust our frequency to a certain point, and therefore we would appear to be mostly physical to you at the point when you arrive at being a little bit closer to us in frequency. Because we will be more similar in frequency, you'll be capable of perceiving us as solidly physical. At the same time, you will also be capable of perceiving us in our quasi-physical state as well. It will just depend upon what the moment requires.
And I suppose the ones that would be able to perceive you would be the ones that aren't going to go running screaming because their own shadow is emerging and scaring them to death.
At that point where we actually can manifest physically on your planet, obviously, of course, there would no longer be those particular attributes in the people that we come into physical contact with.
I see. So lastly,
Yeah.
You've said that we are the masters of limitation. So we'd like to ask you, you are the masters of?
We are the masters of communing with the masters of limitation.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Tadeo. We all appreciate you so much and the wonderful information that you share, and I hope everybody had a good time today.
And will continue to do so, because it is time for your meditation. So the idea, again, is, of course, it is our passion and our pleasure to interact with each and every one of you and all of you together, our deep appreciation for the gift you're giving us and allowing us to do so. And now, please continue to explore the conundrum we have delivered, so that you may allow your brains and neural networks to realign and reposition in a way that will make you more conducive to the great mystery.
looks like we can start. So, well, I did want to give you a little bit of an introduction.
Like you last time?
This is Darryl Anka.
Hi.
The
Thank
magical
you.
channel for Bashar. So, anyway, I just want to thank you for being magical, because there's just... It is amazing. And we really appreciate the gift of the information that you share with us. And we are really excited to hear more.
Thank you.
So thank you for bringing through Bashar and being fabulous yourself.
Oh, thanks. Are you having a good time? Yeah. Good. Let's have some more. I'm going to sleep now. I'm just curious before we start. How many people have never heard Bashar live before? Wow. I guess I'd have to include myself in that, wouldn't I? How many people are hearing Bashar for the first time in any form? Okay, still quite a few. Thank you for coming. All right, I'm going to go to sleep and let you have some more fun. So this will probably be the questioner thing, so people that got their names drawn, get ready to come up to the mic when he starts asking for questions. Good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? So, an earthquake and a hurricane. You really know how to tell a story. Very exciting. Very good. We want to hang with you. So then, in what you have absorbed in our initial transmission, we would now like to ask you a question. Anyone may choose to answer. 'Tis up to you. What is the single most important archetypal element that makes the hero interesting? The villain. The antagonist is responsible for the level of interest you have in the protagonist. Think about that. Think about some of your favorite books and films. Many times you'll actually be surprised when you think back and remember to realize that one of the more interesting characters was actually the villain. Many times you actually can't even really remember the hero as strongly as you remember the villain. The villain defines the hero. Without the idea of the negative side, the hero has nothing to be heroic about. Thus then, in many ways, you can say it is the negative side that allows the positive side to be so memorable. Because it is only in the overcoming and the transformation of the challenges posed to the hero that allow you to truly go on the hero's journey with him or her. And for that, you have the villain to thank. So this is why it is so important to not so much push the negative ideas away, but incorporate them in a manner that allows you, as the hero of your own story, to become that much more interesting, that much more well-defined. As we have said many times in these transmissions to many of you will find that the easiest way to find out what you are is to experience more clearly what you are not. Thus, then, by giving yourself the opportunity to interact with those challenging negative scenarios, by giving yourself the opportunity to let rise to the surface of your consciousness those negative beliefs and to become aware of them, you give yourself the opportunity to have something to transform. You give yourself the opportunity to become an active, heroic individual in your own story. This doesn't mean you have to get a big ego. That might be another antagonist that you can write a story around. But the idea is that as you become more heroic, you become truly more of yourself. But the way you get there, the path to being that legendary hero, is the true understanding and the true relationship that you form between the hero and the villain. And allowing that to be in perfect harmony and perfect balance, and knowing that the choice is always there to succumb to the negative side. But once you validate that the negative side has a reason for being, that it is an equal choice and a valid choice to any other choice you could make, then you go from being the villain in your own story to being the hero, because you incorporate both in a balanced way and thus are capable of simply choosing what you prefer without invalidating the negative side that brought you to that realization, that brought you to that understanding, that allowed you to become the hero you prefer to be. Do you understand? Not all of you? Do you understand? Thank you. In return for the gift that you are allowing us in this communication now, we ask, in what way may we be of further service through dialogue, question, and answer?
Get this just right for you, okay?
Just right. Sounds like something in a story. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right. Not too high, not too low, not too quiet, not too loud. Just right.
Hello, Bashar.
Good day to you. And so, what's your story?
My story is I am not going to hold back.
Oh, all right.
I am not going to hold back.
When you are making, on your planet, a movie, what starts the story rolling? The word action. So important in living your story is to incorporate all the ideas, all the energy, all the beliefs into actual physical action, as you say, not holding back, because you have chosen to be physically experiential beings. It is very important for you to ground your energy, ground what you prefer, ground your excitement into physical reality to attract physical manifestation and shifting to the reality you prefer through the completion of the circuit called physical action. So, you have decided to act who you are. Do not hold back. Very good. What else?
Okay, the dichotomy of that is I came up here to New Jersey this weekend to also surrender.
Yes.
I came here I have used my mind for 55 years to try and understand life and existence and reality. And
must be tired.
Yeah. It's
Poor little mind.
It's been 55 years of intense aerobic exercise, and
yes.
I'm tired
all right.
of doing that.
All right.
I want to surrender to my heart, but yet,
all right.
but,
oh, all right.
I would like to be who I know myself to be,
yes.
which is bold.
Yes.
And
so you are willing to act on your excitement, which if you do in the purest form, will actually be experienced as surrendering to your total self, and thus will be experienced in a joyful and effortless way even as you act? Is that what you mean?
I would like to integrate the two so that they're...
Yes, that's what we just said.
Yeah.
The idea of surrender doesn't mean you take no action. The idea of surrender is to start to go with the flow of your true self so that all the action you take will not be struggle, but will be joy, will be play, will be effortless. You will still take action, but by surrendering to yourself, all the action will be exciting, will be joyful, will be pleasurable. That doesn't mean to surrender that you take no action.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
Is that what you meant?
It is what I meant.
All right. And so you will start doing this now? I sense hesitation.
I am right now in my life, I am performing something that I have had the most fun with of anything I've ever done.
Oh, thank you.
In my life. Now,
yes.
That whole idea of excitement leading to excitement.
Yes.
I don't have the next chapter planned.
You're not necessarily supposed to completely plan it out, you know. Remember that your physical mind has no capacity to know what's going to happen or how it's going to happen. Only your higher mind does. So the idea is that while the physical mind can form just a sufficient enough framework to know exactly where the hallway is you need to walk down, you can let your higher mind surprise you with exactly how you will be walking down that hallway. So you don't need to plan the whole thing out physically. Make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
So the idea of excitement leading to excitement will simply be that once you have some degree of understanding of the framework or the structure, then you can simply get on about the business of acting to the best of your ability at every given moment on whatever opportunity has presented itself to you at that moment that contains the highest amount of excitement. And if you act on it without any expectation of what kind of manifestation or fruition it needs to come to, and you simply go forward to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you possibly can, as far as you are able to, without that expectation, then that will always put you in the proper place, at the proper time, with the proper people, to know exactly, synchronistically, what the next thing is that you need to take action on. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
This is just physics, you know.
Sure, that makes sense.
All right. Is this something that you believe you can incorporate into your story?
I'm okay with spontaneity. I'm okay with just...
It's not just about what you call spontaneity, although that's a large factor. It doesn't mean that you give up thinking. It doesn't mean that you cannot see to some degree what the structure is, and it does not mean you cannot choose to gravitate in a particular direction according to your choices. Nevertheless, the idea is that you can allow much more synchronicity to reveal itself to you so that you don't have to overthink it. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Does that feel lighter?
Yes, it feels lighter.
But there is still some hesitation.
Well, yeah, here's the deal.
All right.
Here's
the deal. All right. What's the deal?
Here's the deal. I understand following the path of excitement and
One moment. We would like to offer you an opportunity to be a little bit more precise in your definitions here, because we often hear people on your planet say this to us. Well, I understand it intellectually, but I don't quite grasp it on this level or that level. Let's just be clear about this. If you're not actually doing it, you don't understand it. Because to understand is to do, is to know, is to be. That's what true understanding is. That's why understanding comes with experience. Because the idea is that when you understand something, you don't think about it, you just do it. That's understanding. There is no disconnection between understanding and action. So we know what you mean when you say that, but the truth is, if you're not actually acting in that way, you actually have not yet arrived at understanding, because I guarantee you, the moment you actually understand it, nothing will stop you from acting that way. So as long as there is any hesitation in your action, you actually don't yet have a complete understanding of it.
And again, that's only because I guess what my fear is,
yes,
when this little episode of what I'm doing right now,
yes,
comes to an end, which is a volunteer project for my church,
yes,
which I'm totally engaged in.
What is your fear?
My fear is
Here comes that part of the story.
Well, it's a lapse of, okay,
Lapse.
what is this going to move on to next?
Who cares?
Well,
let me ask you a question. What you're actually saying is, and in conjunction with the idea that you say you are volunteering for your church, you are lacking faith. So the idea really is to go beyond faith into knowingness. If you really understand the principles and the concepts of what we're talking about, if you really understand the structure of existence and how reality works, you won't have to actually have faith. You can know that whatever it is that is the next thing that happens will be exactly what needs to happen. And when you respond to whatever happens with that knowledge, with that certainty, with that attitude, and in that energy, then you will see how whatever it is that has happened next will serve you as the stepping stone you actually needed at that moment. You don't need to know what it is before you take the step. In fact, you can't know what it is until you take the step. So the idea is actually, even though I know that many of you use the word faith, it's actually going beyond faith into knowingness. You actually don't need faith. You need to know. You need to understand how reality works. So let me put it to you in a very simple fashion. Whatever it is that happens next, you know that something will happen, yes? How likely is it that nothing will happen? Or as one writer once said, suddenly, nothing happened. How likely is it that nothing at all will happen? Wouldn't you say that that likelihood is most probably, let's say 0? Something's going to happen next, right?
Well, Bashar, I'll be honest with you. That thought of nothing happening, nothing is a relative term to me. Okay?
Let's put it this way. You see, this comes from a lack of understanding of the nature of existence itself.
Thank you.
It is not possible for you to experience non-existence by definition. Non-existence means there is no experience. You cannot experience non-existence because you already exist. Existence only has one quality: to exist. That which exists doesn't become that which doesn't exist. That which doesn't exist already doesn't exist. And non-existence is already full of all the things that will never exist. There's no room in non-existence for that which does exist. Do you understand these concepts as they translate into your language?
Yes.
So it's not actually possible. This is one of the few things that is actually truly impossible. It is not possible for that which is to no longer be that which is. That's its only quality. It's the first law of creation. You exist. That's it. You can't do anything about that. You'll change. That's another law. You'll transform how you exist. But the fact of your existence is woven into the very fabric of existence itself, and that can't change. And let me put it this way, it's not something to worry about, because if it actually were possible for that to change, you wouldn't know that it had changed anyway, because there is no experience in non-existence. So if you were to become non-existent, you wouldn't know it. So what's to be afraid of? So the point is that whatever it is that happens next, there has to be something that happens next, because that's the only thing that can happen in existence, and you can't become non-existent. Are you following that so far?
I do follow that. Can I introduce a subplot to the story?
Oh, a subplot. All right.
And it really becomes a matter of focus. Okay, there's as I see it, there's two ways you can go in life.
Oh, all right.
You can accentuate the positive and look forward to the next experience.
Yes.
And do that.
Yes.
And let that lead into something else.
Yes.
And ever and ever and ever. Or you can go, let's talk about the negative side of who I am and what I'm trying to resolve.
You can accentuate the negative and let that lead to the next thing and the next thing. But you see, the point still is there will still be a next thing.
Or try and understand.
No, understand. There is no trying to understand. You either understand or you don't.
Okay. All right.
Now, let me put it to you this way. One moment. A further subtle explanation. We understand what you mean by trying to understand. We understand what you mean by process. Nevertheless, here's the actual truth about what a process is. A process is not actually in any way, shape, or form trying to understand. A process is simply getting to the point where you finally give yourself permission to understand. So the idea is that you may simply go through an experience and still not give yourself permission to understand. And you may do that again and not give yourself permission to understand. And in all of those experiences, you are actually not trying to understand. You're actually choosing to not understand.
Okay.
And eventually you get to the point where you are finally don't need to choose that, and you suddenly choose to simply understand. All of the times you chose to not understand do not actually, literally, physically, mechanically have anything at all to do with your ability in the next moment to choose to understand. Any process you went through that made it seem as if that gave you more ability to understand actually didn't give you more ability. It just gave you more time for you to let it be all right to finally choose to understand.
Okay, well, let's talk about a way I can understand something that I've been trying to understand for a long time.
All right, and that would be what?
Something that...
Be specific.
Okay, this does not... The irony of it is, this does not seem native to me.
We love irony.
It does not seem...
Native to you.
Native. It does not seem natural. I do not know.
Yes.
I do not know why I hang on to a certain fear.
Of what?
Of I don't know. It's a
yes. Of what?
Of.
Understand right now. You're sitting in your movie theater watching your movie, and you're allowing the film to break. Get to the point where the fear presents itself, invite it in so you can get on with the movie.
Of not willing to be who I know myself to be.
Because you fear that if you do, what will happen? You see, this is one of the strongest ways to find out what your fears actually are, is to actually amplify and magnify them by allowing yourself to imagine what the worst possible thing you fear might happen is, should you allow yourself to actually be who you say you prefer to be. So what's the worst possible thing you imagine might happen if you did? Be who you prefer to be. Give it voice. Get it out there. Because once you get it out there, once you actually say what you fear the worst thing is, then you have something to work with. Then you have a really good villain. Then you can become a really strong hero. So, invent a really good villain. What's the worst thing you fear will happen if you actually allow yourself to become who you prefer to be? Spit it out.
Too much exposure is the only thing I can think of.
Exposure to what? Exposure to what? In what way? Seems like you're getting some help from the peanut gallery. Shh, no talking during the movie. Exposure. What does exposure mean? That somehow someone is going to come up and say something that you believe would devalue you? Is that what you fear? What do you really fear? Speak.
It's there on the tip of my tongue.
Give me the scenario. You have the picture in your head. Paint the picture. What do you fear might happen?
I understand why I separated myself from myself to the degree that I did, because I went deep. I went real deep.
That's all right. If you understand that, then if you understand that and you understand that now you are basically choosing to be done with that, then why aren't you done with it?
Well, that's the edge or the
$64,000 question?
well, I'm standing on that edge right now.
Well, listen
and
to
and
this. Listen to this. Listen to this. The only reason, all of you, listen to this. The only reason you hold on to something you say you don't is because you still believe that it somehow serves you in a positive way to do so. So what's your belief about that? Do you believe that holding on to this, the thing that prevents you from being yourself, somehow keeps you safer than you might be by being yourself? Is that what you're getting out of holding on to something you say you don't want? Because the only reason you hold on to something you say you don't want is because you perceive or have defined that there's a benefit to do so. Because as soon as you define there is no benefit to do so, you'll let it go instantaneously, believe me. So the only reason you hold on to something that you say you don't prefer is because you must have an unconscious belief that there is some benefit to doing so. If you find out what that belief is and identify it, then it gives you more ability to let that go. So what benefit do you believe you're getting out of holding on to a state of being you say you don't prefer?
Because the next step is,
Yes.
losing this or surrendering to this. I'm out.
Are you equating surrendering with losing something? Is that your definition?
I'm equating surrendering with just letting go.
But why are you defining that as a negative?
I'm not defining it as a negative.
Then why aren't you letting go?
I guess I'm not at that point right now.
No. Listen again. There is no such thing as not being at that point. That really doesn't have any meaning at all. If you are not letting go of something that you say you wish to let go of, it's because you are choosing to not let go because you believe it serves you. It's not about I'm not at that point yet. It's about the fact that you are deliberately choosing to hold on to it. You have to find out why. And the reason why will always be, yes, always be, you have defined that holding on to it is beneficial. How does it benefit you to hold on to this thing you say you don't prefer?
The safety net, that might be part of it. But
so you feel you need one because you fear that what will happen? What? What will happen if you just let go? What will happen? What's the worst that could happen? Come on, give it voice. Be bold.
Maybe there's an element of maybe of non-acceptance of.
Who cares?
Well, I don't give a shit about that.
Obviously you do.
But I don't.
But you obviously
that's the whole point.
do.
I'm at the point where I just don't give a shit anymore.
Then why not let go?
That's...
Obviously you do. You see, this is what you're not allowing to be obvious. The belief may be unconscious. You may think, consciously you may think you don't care anymore, but your actions show you do.
That is
your
absolutely
fear
true.
Tells you do. So without the action, with the idea of still feeling fear, those are the barometers to pay attention to. The fear and the non-action in the direction you prefer tells you there's a belief you're unaware of. So it doesn't matter if you sit there and insist, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. All you're saying is, consciously, you can't figure out what the belief is.
That's right, because I understand everything that you're talking about.
But you know the belief must be there.
Yes, I do. I'm not.
Then find out what it is by asking the question, what would I have to believe is true of my relationship to this situation in order to hold on to something I say I don't prefer? There is an answer. There is a definition you have to be holding on to. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking this question of us. You're holding on to something you don't prefer.
I agree. From your perspective, just so others can ask questions, can you give me, besides asking the question, which I've done for a long time, can you give me a little...
Yes.
Little...
Push?
Board, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
All right. Have you heard us talk about the idea of the two-word sacred mantra?
No, I haven't.
Repeat after me. So what? Very powerful. 2-word sacred mantra. So in other words, should you decide to move forward and should what you fear will happen, happen, so what? Pick yourself up, keep moving. It cannot actually ultimately destroy you. It will only make you stronger. Because you will have discovered more of yourself. Even if the modality, remember what we said? Even if the modality is extremely scary, even if the scenario is extremely frightening, invite yourself to go through it because you will go through it.
My fear is it's too big. That's
Nonsense.
That's the fear. That's what I'm holding on to. You asked what my fear was?
Yes, but it's nonsense because it cannot by definition be bigger than you are.
I totally agree.
Well, there you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew, good day.
I would like to ask you how to make my dream come true.
Did we not already discuss much of these techniques?
Yes, that's right.
Well, all right. Is there some specific aspect of this you feel you need a little more clarity on?
By the way, I'm teaching English to children at my home.
Yes.
And today, because I am a teacher of English, I expected to understand your English more. But to my standard, I got sort of disappointed that I didn't get your English so much.
All right. Well, please understand I am not speaking English. I am not speaking at all. I am only sending thoughts that are being translated through the channel's brain into the language the channel understands. However, because in the channel's mind, I am what you would call an alien or foreign in energy, then the translation into the channel's language sometimes comes out with an unusual accent. So we apologize if there are translation problems with the device. We trust that we will be able to assist you in understanding more clearly. So please let us know what you feel you are unclear about.
Let me put it aside. English problem, put it aside.
All right.
I love learning English.
Yes.
And it's the most exciting thing to me.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
So, by the way, I'm mother and wife, and I have roles at home. So it is hard for me to make my own time to study more. And on the book of Bashar, I read the time between 2 o'clock early in the morning to 4 o'clock early in the morning is the most energetic time zone. So I decided myself I have to learn during these hours, and then it's going to be very efficient for me to learn and memorize things.
All right, as long as you do not tire yourself out by getting no sleep at all.
That's right.
You have to trust your timing more than the idea of having to arrange your time schedule. You look at all the things that excite you the most in order of degree of excitement. Any given day, act on the things that excite you the most to whatever degree you can act on them. Take the first thing that excites you the most and do the most with it you are capable of doing within that day. When there is nothing more you can do about that exciting thing, then act on the next most exciting thing you have the ability to actually take some action on. And then after you are done doing that, if there is nothing else you can do on that exciting thing, choose the next most exciting thing you are able to do something about. At the end of the day, if there is no more time for you to act on other things, then that's all you needed to do that day. Let the excitement show you the timing of how many of those things need to be done in any given day, and don't force yourself to think you have to do more than you can fit in any particular time frame that is comfortable. Because again, you have to look at your excitement holistically, as a whole picture. What point would there be in following your excitement if to do so would wear you out? The idea is to trust the timing of the excitement in that what fits in one day is comfortable for you. You do not need to force anything else. Because what point would there be in following your excitement if following your excitement exhausted you? Would there be any point to acting on your excitement if it wore you out, if it tired you out? There would be no point to it. Excitement doesn't come that way. It doesn't come with exhaustion. It comes with rejuvenation, exhilaration. So rather than scheduling your time, trust the timing of exactly how many exciting things you can fit into any given time period. Does that make sense to you?
So what you are telling me is I'm not supposed to attach to that particular time zone, like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning.
I am just saying that that is a very good time when, if you are able to be quiet, you can feel energized and be very creative. But I am saying don't force yourself into that time zone. It should be a matter of easy timing, not I must do this then, I must do this now. Many people on your planet force themselves into artificial schedules that have nothing to do with their natural rhythm. In other words, more people, when they follow a natural rhythm, might automatically find themselves more naturally sleeping during the afternoon and being awake early in the morning. So what we are saying is that when you find your natural rhythm, then everything that really needs to get done in the course of a day will be done in the right timing and at the appropriate time to fit your natural rhythm. Does that make some sense to you now?
Yes, sorry taking so long, but I would like to ask one more.
Sorry taking so much time?
Well, again, this is about time. My understanding is if I am living my life with full excitement,
Yes.
I don't need to sleep so long. Is it correct?
That is also true. But again, it's not something you'd have to force yourself to do. You'll just naturally feel awake. You will just sleep when you're tired and you'll be awake when you're not. That's all there is to it. So yes, more and more individuals, as your species evolves, when they follow their highest joy, will generally find they don't sleep as much as they used to. That is generally true. One of the reasons that many people on your planet now must sleep the amount of time that they do is because it is important for them to connect to their dream reality. But when you manifest your dream energy on Earth, when you are living your dream, then you will not need to sleep so much in order to connect to your dream energy because it will be all around you. But while you are following your excitement, if suddenly you simply find that you are tired and it is natural for you to go to sleep, please don't force yourself to stay awake or think that there's something wrong with you. Everyone will be somewhat different for a while, and you must simply allow yourself to trust that your excitement will help you understand your natural rhythm and timing. Does that help?
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
ありがとうご
Pleasant
ざいます。
dreams to you. Next question.
Hello.
Andrew, good day.
My question is about interpersonal relationship. By the way, there is a guy that I would like to be close to,
Yes.
but when we actually go out together, we often have conflicts.
Yes.
So I think my equation about this relationship is when I go out or I am together with him, I cannot get along. And I would like to change this equation, this belief. How can I rephrase it into a positive thought?
All right, thank you. Do you have any particular expectations of what you need him to be? That is a yes?
Yes.
What do you expect he needs to be? Are you
No.
saying you need him to change into something you would prefer him to be rather than allowing him to be who he is? Is that what you're saying?
I hope so.
Why do you hope this?
For example, I share something with him,
Yes.
expecting him to comfort me, but he, instead of comforting me, scolds me in a way.
Yes. So why are you looking for that kind of comfort from him?
I should feel comfortable when he comforts me.
Why do you need him to comfort you is what I'm asking you. Why are you looking for someone else to comfort you? Are you unable to comfort yourself?
Now I know that I wanted somebody to comfort me.
Why? Why do they need to comfort you? Why do you need to be comforted?
Maybe because I want to believe he's special.
No, you want to believe you're special. You want him to prove to you that you're special because you don't believe you are.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
And so he will get angry with you because all you're actually saying to him is, I am nothing. Please tell me I am something. But I am nothing. But please tell me I am something. So what you are saying is that you're only in the relationship for the purpose of making yourself feel better. It's not really about supporting each other.
That's true. Now I see it.
Good.
それ
Thank
が
you for
分かっ
opening
て。
your eyes. Does that help you?
た気がします。
Yeah, very much.
ありが
Now
と
you
う。
can get in touch with that belief and use the techniques to change your belief and understand that relationships are for the purpose of allowing each other to become more of who you really are. Because you see, here is the paradox. This is the energy and the communication that you have been creating up to this point. You're actually asking him to reinforce your sense of unworthiness. Because every time you ask him to make you feel better, you don't have to change. You don't have to make yourself feel better. You're leaving it all up to him, and if he does it, that means he's reinforcing that you don't ever have to feel better about yourself because he'll do it all for you. A relationship is to help each other become more of who you are, not less of your natural self, which is what you're asking him to do for you. Does this make sense to you now, energetically?
I really understand that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next questioner. And are you good day?
I think I've got the general idea of excitement,
Oh,
but
oh,
I would like you to be more specific.
In what way?
Suppose I would like to have a business success, and I create an imagination of my business success in a
Yes.
form, and I put it in my mind and feel excited and live my life fully with that
Yes.
excitement.
Yes, without expectation. Now
Oh, no.
you understand?
Without expectation.
Yeah. Do you see how this changes the way you're asking your questions? You're forgetting a part of the formula. Act on your excitement with integrity and without expectation. So you do not close the doors through which the manifestation of your dream could come from another direction.
It's the same idea
It's
with
getting
that.
clearer and clearer, isn't it?
I think I got his point in his case. I got confused again.
Yes, that's all right.
Well, there is another desire, exciting idea to me. Like, I would like to lose my weight.
No, all right, go right ahead, lose your weight. As you move forward in your energy and you use more of your energy to manifest the idea of your dreams, then less and less energy sticks around you and builds up into matter. As you clear yourself of negative beliefs, then those negative beliefs no longer turn into the idea of spending time doing things that will add weight to your body, because you will need to, in a sense, act at a higher frequency, and you will drop the weight and not do the things that add the weight. The more you are truly aligned with your frequency of excitement, the more you will, shall we say, instinctively just do those things or eat those things or behave in a way that will be most aligned with your energy, and those things will not have a tendency to add weight to you. Now, we are not saying that you have to focus too hard on this idea. We don't want you to judge yourself, nor do we want any of you to think that in order to follow your excitement, you must be as skinny as a toothpick. After all, look at Buddha. Total joy, but a little bit fat. The thing really is just to relax into your natural self. There will be a range of weight that still represents following your joy, so do not judge yourself too harshly. You will lose what weight you need when you're more aligned with yourself. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do what I'm about to say, but it will give you another example of sometimes why some people may carry a little bit of extra weight. Some people have a little bit of a belief that when they follow their excitement and follow their joy, their vibration is going to rise so high that they'll just fly right up off the planet. And so they believe they need to put on a little weight to keep themselves on the ground. They use it as a balancing mechanism sometimes. Now, yes, while of course the belief that they need to put on a little weight to keep themselves grounded is a belief, it's not really, in that sense, a very harmful one as long as the weight is not extreme. You understand what we are saying?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Actually, in my daily life, even though I'm not on a particular diet, I lost 3 kilograms. It's about 6 pounds naturally.
All right, well then, there you go, you see.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, look, he has completely disappeared now. Next questioner.
Hello.
And you, good day.
I'm very pleased to meet you.
Oh, we are ecstatic to meet you and any on your planet.
This is my personal question.
Yes.
I have my current job, but I feel more excited with another possibility of another job.
And what would that be?
Professional pilot.
Professional pilot. All
はい、
right.
いいです
Are you
ね。
going to take flying lessons then?
In order to have a small-sized airplane operation license, I have to fly 30 hours.
So you are saying that you are taking lessons? Is that what you are saying?
Yes, I am in the training already.
Oh, all right. Very good.
Right. My desire is to quit my current job completely and put myself into that new possibility of job completely.
Well, all right. Go ahead. However, understand this. You must be very clear about your belief system, believing that if you totally quit the other job, you must believe that your belief system can bring something to support you. If you don't, it would be wiser to hold on to the other job a little longer until you are clear that your belief system will support you if you change. It is all right to expand your dream of excitement in a step-by-step fashion. You don't necessarily have to do it all at once unless you really believe that that's what gives you your greatest joy and you really believe that your excitement will support you completely. Whichever way you choose to do it is all right because it's your life, it's your choice, all right?
And then when I observe my circumstances, somehow I cannot quit my current job right now. That may mean that my belief system hasn't switched completely to that.
All right, well then you can spend some time working with your belief system to see if you can get it to accelerate. We created a tool some time ago called Threshold of Believability. Threshold or doorway. It is a way to measure where your belief happens to be on a scale, in a sense of 1 to 10. Because you are your own best sensitive measuring device, and you can tell very quickly by using this tool exactly how long it will take for you to transform your belief. This is a very, very powerful tool, so all of you pay attention because you can all use this in different areas of your life. The tool works like this. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you were doing this on your own, you would ask yourself the question. Or you could even get someone else to ask the questions of you. When I ask you this question, I want you to answer as quickly as you can, yes, if you can answer yes. Or no, but answer as quickly as you can after I ask the question. All right, now, here you are, here's the present situation. You have a job that you're doing that isn't necessarily representative of your highest excitement, and you have something else that you're doing that does represent a higher excitement, yes?
Right.
And you are wondering when you will be able, when you will have a strong enough belief to be able to just be supported by the other idea and quit your job. That's the basic question you are asking.
Right.
So the question really is, how long will it be before I believe I will be just totally living my dream and not doing anything that doesn't excite me? That's really the basic question.
Right.
So you start using the believability tool by starting way out in the future, way farther than you know for sure, far enough ahead so that you know for sure that by then you would be only living your dream and you cannot imagine doing anything else. So in other words, the question that you would start asking yourself is, do I believe, without a hesitation, without a doubt, that in 10 years that will be more than enough time for me to change my belief so that I'll only be doing what excites me the most? Is 10 years enough time for you to change that belief?
That's more than enough.
Yes, more than enough. All right,
Right.
see, no hesitation at all. You believe that 10 years is more than enough time to change the belief system within you right now, yes?
Right.
All right, very good. Now, you start lowering the
それを
amount.
ちょっ
Is
と
5 years more than enough time for you to change this belief system?
Maybe a little difficult.
All right, now, there you go, you see. Now, you said 10 years, no problem. 9 years, no problem.
Perhaps.
All right, you're already hesitating. You see, when you find your first hesitation, when you go down in increments, wherever you first hesitate, that's how long it's going to take with your present belief system. Now, You can say, well, if I would like it to take less time, what belief, using the techniques we did before, what belief would I have to change to make it easy for me to believe that I can do it in less time? So when you find out what that belief is and you change the belief using the technique we talked about before, then you can take the test again, starting again from where you originally started, where it was no problem at all to believe that you could change. So you say 10 years, no problem. 9 years, no problem with my new belief system. Now I know 9 years is more than enough time. 8 years, no problem. 7 years, no problem. 6 years, maybe. As soon as you find yourself hesitating again, find out what belief you have within yourself that would make it take that long. Do this over and over and over again until you lower and lessen and lessen and lessen the amount of time it will take. As soon as you get the time frame down to where it no longer changes no matter what you do with your belief system, then that is the natural amount of time it needs to take for your life path. Do you see how to use this powerful tool?
Yes, I see it. When I'm using that tool and trying to change my belief, is it
Not
okay?
trying to change your
changing
belief.
my belief.
Changing your belief.
Changing my belief.
Yes.
May I use my preference phrase to replace that old
Yes,
belief?
it is the technique we talked about before.
Hi,
You
so
create
ですね。
a new definition to replace the old definition, one that you believe is more in harmony with your excitement and your true self. And if you understand and really believe what we said before, how the new belief will replace the old belief, then it will be in place and it will make a difference. If any of you have difficulty believing that the new belief you've created will replace the old belief, then there again is yet another belief you need to look at. And as soon as you find out what belief you have that makes it seem difficult to replace old beliefs with new, then you will change that and you will be able to start doing this whole set of tools. And please, please, please remember, all of these beliefs and techniques and tools work best when you start with the primary, fundamental understanding that you are unconditionally loved and you accept that. So, do this and fly high in your aeroplane. Maybe one day while you're flying along, maybe you will be joined by a UFO. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What is your time frame remaining?
Actually, it passed already.
Yes.
2 minutes passed, so
All right.
maybe a good time.
Then let us extend once again to each and every one of you our deep appreciation for the co-creation of this communication. Please understand and remember once again that these techniques and tools are guaranteed to work because the universe guarantees that you are who you were created to be. Our unconditional love to you all. Good day. Thank you all very, very much for being here today. And please give thanks to everyone who put on the seminar for doing such a wonderful job. So, thank you very much, and please have a good day.